Have you ever found yourself pausing at the bottom of the stairs, wondering why each step feels just a little heavier than it used to? Or maybe after a morning walk, you notice a dull ache in your legs that lingers long after you've sat down. You eat well. You try to stay active. You've always believed in the power of healthy habits. But what if I told you that some of the fruits you've trusted for decades, fruits you reach for every week, may quietly be making it harder for you to stand tall and move freely? My name is Frank Simmons, and like many of you, I grew up hearing that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But as I've grown older, and as I've listened to the stories of friends and patients, I've learned that the truth is more complicated, especially when it comes to our aging bodies. Science now shows that as we age, our bodies process certain foods differently. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging reveals that while fruits are generally beneficial, some can spike blood sugar, worsen inflammation, or even interact with common medications in ways that quietly erode our strength and mobility. For example, pineapple contains bromelain, which is praised for its anti-inflammatory effects, but may interact with blood thinners and, in excess, can irritate sensitive joints in older adults. Bananas, often recommended for muscle health, can cause rapid blood sugar changes and, for some, contribute to swelling and fatigue in the legs. And grapes, though full of antioxidants, have sugars that may raise uric acid and trigger joint pain, especially if you're prone to inflammation. If you've noticed your legs feeling weaker, your knees aching, or your steps growing unsteady, you're not alone, and you're not imagining things. These changes aren't just part of getting older. They may be signals from your body, asking you to take a closer look at what's on your plate. Today, on Aging Wisdom, we're going to uncover the 7 fruits that may be silently undermining your leg strength after 60. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. It's about understanding how your body changes, so you can make choices that restore your energy, protect your independence, and keep you moving with confidence. If you value your freedom, if you want to keep walking tall and living life on your terms, stay with me. And if you find this message resonates, please take a moment to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could help someone else take their first step toward lasting strength. Now, let's begin with the first fruit on our list. A fruit celebrated for its tropical flavor, but one that deserves a second look for those of us over 60. Many of us grew up believing that fruit is always the healthiest choice, a natural gift that keeps us strong. But as we age, our bodies change in ways that make us more sensitive to certain foods, even those we once trusted. It's a truth that's rarely discussed, but it's crucial for anyone over 60 who wants to keep their legs strong and their independence intact. Let's face it, not all fruits are created equal, especially for seniors. Some, while packed with vitamins and fiber, can quietly undermine your leg strength, fuel inflammation, and make every step feel heavier than it should. You might be eating these fruits every week, thinking you're making a smart choice. But the science tells a different story. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging, and studies summarized by WebMD confirm that excess sugar, even from natural sources like fruit, can worsen joint pain and inflammation, especially in people already dealing with arthritis or circulation issues. As we age, our bodies process sugars and acids less efficiently, making us more vulnerable to the subtle damage they cause. Fructose, the main sugar in many fruits, has been shown to increase inflammation in the body by activating pathways that release inflammatory chemicals, which can directly impact the joints, nerves, and blood flow in your legs. This isn't just about calories or weight gain. It's about how certain fruits, through their sugar, acid, or unique compounds, can quietly set off a chain reaction inside your body. Over time, this leads to swelling, stiffness, and a gradual loss of strength. Sometimes so subtle you don't notice until climbing stairs or standing up from a chair becomes a real challenge. If you've ever wondered why your legs feel weaker despite your best efforts, you're not alone. The foods we eat directly affect the health of our muscles, joints, nerves, and blood circulation, especially in our legs. For seniors, the wrong fruits can mean the difference between a life of strength and mobility, or one marked by pain and dependency. Today, we're going to shine a light on these hidden culprits. We'll look at each fruit, explain the science behind its effects, and help you make choices that truly support your health. Because you deserve to walk with confidence, free from unnecessary pain. Now, let's continue our journey and take a closer look at the next fruit on our list: grapes. They're small, sweet, and often seen as a healthy snack, but the truth about their impact on aging legs might surprise you. Pineapple, tropical, juicy, and refreshing, has long been celebrated as a natural anti-inflammatory, thanks to a substance called bromelain. But here's the twist. While many believe pineapple reduces inflammation, it may actually be a silent culprit for seniors. Pineapple contains strong acids and natural sugars, and those sugars aren't as harmless as they appear, especially if you're over 60. As we age, our blood vessels become more fragile and sensitive. They no longer respond to sugar increases the same way. Despite its benefits, pineapple delivers a powerful dose of natural sugar to the bloodstream. How does this affect you? It rapidly raises blood sugar levels, and that spike can damage the tiny blood vessels supplying your legs, feet, and muscles. As circulation deteriorates over time, less oxygen reaches your legs. The result? Pain, fatigue, and swelling after even a short walk. You might feel a dull, dragging ache in your legs, stiffness in your knees when standing, or sudden ankle pain even after sitting all day. There's more. Pineapple is acidic in addition to being sweet, and that acid can irritate joints, especially if you already have inflammation or arthritis. For some, it's like adding fuel to a fire already burning in your ankles, hips, and knees. Some even notice their legs feel heavy after eating pineapple, as if strength is gradually ebbing away. You should also know this: if you take medications, especially blood thinners, the enzyme bromelain in pineapple may interact with certain drugs, making them either too strong or not effective enough. However, the most dangerous aspect is that pineapple doesn't cause obvious negative effects. There are no clear signs or immediate pain. Instead, it infiltrates gradually, until eventually you realize you can't move as you once could. The saddest part? Most seniors don't realize that the fruit they eat for health may contribute to the yearly weakness they experience in their legs. What can you do? You don't need to avoid pineapple completely, but you should consume it sparingly, especially if you've been experiencing persistent leg pain or unexplained swelling. The damage is subtle, but real. Now, if pineapple, with all its celebrated anti-inflammatory properties, can be this harmful for aging legs, what about the next fruit? It's soft, delicious, and known for boosting muscle power and potassium levels, but it might be deceiving. Let's talk about bananas. Bananas, soft, sweet, and famous for their potassium, have long been considered a go-to snack for energy and muscle health. You might have heard they prevent cramps and help your muscles recover, but the story changes as we get older. For seniors, bananas can quietly become less of a friend and more of a hidden foe. Here's why. Bananas are packed with natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates. When you eat a banana, your blood sugar rises quickly. Over time, these repeated sugar spikes can make your body less sensitive to insulin, a condition called insulin resistance. As this happens, your circulation weakens, inflammation increases, and your legs can start to suffer. You might notice a dull soreness when walking or climbing stairs, heaviness in your legs after meals, or even stiffness in your calves that just won't go away. But that's not all. Bananas can also cause your body to retain more fluid, especially if you have heart issues. This extra fluid can lead to stiff joints, swollen feet, and puffy ankles. The effect is subtle. You eat bananas believing they're helping your muscles, but in reality, they might be quietly depleting your strength. The most concerning part? The impact isn't immediate. Over time, eating bananas regularly could make movement more difficult and pain more common. If you often experience heavy, aching, or swollen legs, it might be time to reconsider how often bananas appear on your plate. Now, if a fruit as wholesome as the banana can have this effect, what about something even smaller and sweeter? Let's move on to a fruit that's charming, bite-sized, and often eaten by the handful, but may be causing your joints to burn. Let's talk about grapes. Grapes, small, sweet, and easy to snack on, have a reputation for being heart-healthy and packed with antioxidants. But for older adults, especially those over 60, grapes can quietly contribute to leg discomfort and joint pain that's easy to overlook. Here's why. Grapes are high in fructose, a natural sugar that is absorbed directly by the liver. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing fructose. When the liver can't handle all that sugar, it converts the excess into fat and uric acid. Elevated uric acid is a well-known trigger for joint pain, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees. If you've ever experienced a burning or aching sensation in your big toe at night, or unexpected stiffness in your calves, it could be due to uric acid building up from something as simple as a handful of grapes. But that's not all. Fructose in grapes also fuels chronic inflammation. This can mean slower movement, more pressure, and persistent stiffness in your legs. Grapes are easy to overeat, just a few here and there, and suddenly you've had several cups worth of sugar. The impact is subtle but real. Over time, you may find your legs feeling heavier, less flexible, and more uncomfortable. If you've been eating grapes regularly and notice increasing stiffness or swelling, consider this connection. Grapes may seem innocent, but for aging bodies, their sweetness can come at a cost. Now, let's look at another fruit that's famous for hydration, but may be quietly working against your legs. Watermelon. Light, refreshing, and a symbol of summer. Could be contributing to leg fatigue and swelling in ways you might not expect. Watermelon, light, refreshing, and the very symbol of summer, seems like the perfect fruit for hydration. Most people believe it's harmless, even beneficial, because it's mostly water and low in calories. But for those of us over 60, watermelon can quietly work against your legs in ways you might not expect. Here's the secret. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index. That means it raises your blood sugar almost as quickly as a piece of candy. For seniors whose bodies don't regulate blood sugar as efficiently as they once did, these rapid spikes can be especially harmful. Each time your blood sugar surges, your body releases insulin to bring it back down. But with age, insulin regulation becomes less effective, and this can lead to more inflammation, particularly in areas with already weak circulation, like your calves, ankles, and knees. You might notice your legs feeling tired right after eating watermelon, or a dull ache during a short walk. Swelling around the ankles can become more frequent, and climbing stairs may start to feel like a real challenge. It's easy to eat a lot of watermelon in one sitting because it's juicy and refreshing. One slice turns into 3 or 4, adding more sugar and more stress to your system. The tricky part is that watermelon tastes so light, it's easy to forget how much sugar you're actually consuming. But inside your body, that sugar triggers inflammation, strains your circulation, and quietly wears down your legs' strength and comfort. So if you've been enjoying watermelon regularly and your legs have started to feel more tired or achy, it may be time to reconsider how often it appears on your plate. Let's move on to a fruit that's a breakfast staple, loved for its vitamin C and bright flavor, but may be quietly launching an acidic attack on your joints. Let's talk about oranges. Oranges, bright, fragrant, and a staple at breakfast tables across America, are often seen as the very symbol of health. Their vitamin C is praised for boosting immunity, and their refreshing taste is a favorite in juices and morning routines. But for those of us over 60, the story isn't as simple as it seems. Behind that cheerful citrus glow, is a level of acidity that aging joints may no longer tolerate. Oranges are rich in citric acid, and while that might not bother you in your younger years, it can quietly irritate joints as you age, especially if you already deal with inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. You might notice your knees feeling stiff in the morning, a nagging pain in your hips after sitting, or discomfort in your legs that seems to linger longer than it used to. This isn't just about taste. When you eat oranges or drink orange juice, the citric acid doesn't just pass through your stomach. It enters your bloodstream and can aggravate the delicate tissues in your joints. Add in the fruit's natural sugars, and you have a combination that can cause blood sugar fluctuations, further fueling inflammation throughout your body. The result? Every step can feel heavier, and the pain in your knees, ankles, or calves can become more persistent. What's so challenging is that oranges have always been associated with wellness. It's easy to believe you're doing something good for your body when in fact, these daily habits may be quietly contributing to the very pain you're trying to prevent. For seniors, especially those with slower circulation and aging joints, the effect of oranges can build up over time, making movement more difficult and recovery slower. If you find yourself reaching for oranges every day and noticing more stiffness or swelling, it might be time to rethink how often they're on your plate. Next, let's turn to a fruit that looks crisp, green, and is often considered the safe choice for a healthy snack. But hidden beneath that tart crunch, green apples may be causing nighttime cramping and aching hips for older adults. Let's take a closer look at green apples. Green apples, crisp, tart, and often chosen as the healthy snack, seem like the perfect choice for anyone watching their sugar. Many older adults reach for a green apple thinking it's the safest fruit on the plate. But beneath that refreshing crunch, there are two hidden challenges for those over 60: malic acid and natural sugars. Malic acid is what gives green apples their signature tang. While it's harmless for most young people, as we age, our digestive lining and joints become more sensitive. For seniors, malic acid can irritate tissues in the gut and, once absorbed, may aggravate joint discomfort. You might notice your hips or thighs aching after eating apples, or a subtle heat in your feet and tightness in your knees that wasn't there before. This discomfort often builds slowly, becoming more frequent over time. Then there's the sugar. Even though green apples taste less sweet than red ones, they still contain natural sugars that can cause blood sugar fluctuations, especially in older adults whose metabolism has slowed. This can lead to tired calves, nighttime leg cramps, morning stiffness, or a feeling of weakness when climbing stairs. And because green apples are often eaten raw, sometimes even as a bedtime snack, their effects can be constant and cumulative. The hardest part is that green apples look so pure and wholesome. But for aging bodies, they may be quietly making walking harder, stiffening joints and making evenings more restless. Now, if a simple apple can have this effect, what about a fruit that's even sweeter and more beloved? Next, let's talk about mango, a juicy tropical treat that may be the biggest sugar bomb of all for seniors struggling with leg pain and weakness. Mango, juicy, soft, and almost as sweet as candy, is a fruit beloved by many, especially during the warmer months. But for seniors, mango may be the most problematic of all when it comes to leg strength and joint comfort. Here's why. Mangoes are packed with natural sugars, a significant sugar punch that causes your blood sugar to rise sharply and quickly. When you're younger and more active, your body can usually handle these sugar surges. But after 60, your metabolism slows and your body's ability to process sugar changes. Each time you eat mango, your blood sugar spikes, triggering a strong insulin response, followed by a crash. With every cycle of spike and crash, your body produces inflammation deep within your joints, especially in the soft tissues around your ankles, hips, and knees. If you have nerve issues, this inflammation can lead to burning sensations in your toes, persistent tingling, swelling in the evening, or a creeping heaviness in your legs. The tricky thing about mango is that it tastes light and fresh, so it's easy to eat more than you realize. But your body still has to process all that sugar, and over time, it can quietly contribute to joint pain, sluggish walking, and unsteady legs. Many seniors enjoy mangoes, thinking they're a natural, healthy treat. And while they are natural, that doesn't always mean they're safe for aging joints and weaker circulation. If you've noticed more pain, swelling, or fatigue in your legs after eating mango, it may be time to reconsider how often you indulge. Now that we've explored the most problematic fruits for seniors' leg health, let's shift our focus to the good news. There are fruits that can actually help restore your strength, reduce pain, and support healthy joints. Let's talk about those therapeutic alternatives and what you should reach for instead. Now that we've explored which fruits can quietly chip away at your leg strength, let's turn to the good news. There are fruits that can actually help restore your vitality, soothe aching joints, and support healthy circulation as you age. First, consider berries, like blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. These small fruits are gentle on your blood sugar and packed with antioxidants. Research from the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry shows that berries can help reduce inflammation and improve blood flow, especially in the legs. Their low sugar content means they won't cause the spikes and crashes that lead to swelling or fatigue. Many seniors find that adding a handful of berries to breakfast or a snack leaves them feeling lighter and more energetic, with less stiffness in their knees and ankles. Cherries are another smart choice, but moderation is key. Studies published in Arthritis and Rheumatology have found that cherries can lower uric acid, reducing the risk of gout flare-ups and easing joint pain. Just a small serving, think a handful, not a whole bowl, can soothe sore joints and relieve burning sensations in your knees or toes. Don't overlook avocado. Yes, it's a fruit, and one of the best for aging joints. Avocado is rich in healthy fats that help cushion your joints and fight inflammation from the inside out. It also helps regulate blood sugar, giving you steady energy without the crashes that sap your strength. Try adding slices to a salad or spreading it on whole grain toast for a nourishing boost. Papaya is another gentle option. This tropical fruit contains enzymes that aid digestion and reduce inflammation, making it easy on both your stomach and your joints. If you've struggled with stiffness or swelling after meals, papaya might bring welcome relief. And then there's the humble pear. When eaten with a bit of fiber or protein, pears provide a subtle sweetness that won't overload your system. They offer steady energy and support your body without taxing your legs. Each of these fruits works with your body, not against it. They help you move with more confidence, wake up with less pain, and enjoy the freedom that comes from stronger, healthier legs. Remember, it's not about giving up fruit, it's about choosing the right ones for where you are in life. With every mindful choice, you take a step toward firmer footing, smoother movement, and brighter mornings. Next, let's wrap up with some final words of encouragement and a message just for you, because your journey to strength and independence is far from over. It's never too late to make a change. If you've listened this far, you clearly care about your future, your strength, and your health, and I want you to hear this. You are not alone on this journey. Aging brings its challenges, pain, stiffness, and sometimes the quiet fear of losing your independence. But every day is a new opportunity to take back control, not with drastic measures, but with small, wise choices. The fruits we've discussed today aren't bad in themselves, but for those of us over 60, our bodies have changed. What once worked for us might now be quietly working against us. That's not a reason to feel discouraged. It's a reason to become smarter, to listen to what your body truly needs now. When you start choosing foods that support your strength, your circulation, and your joints, you'll notice it. Less pain, more flexibility, smoother mornings, lighter steps. That's the real goal. Not restriction, but freedom. Freedom to move, to enjoy your days, and to stay independent. So I invite you, share what you've learned today. What small change are you ready to make? Let us know in the comments. When we share our stories, we help each other grow stronger. If this video opened your eyes, please hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss information that could change your life. Turn on notifications, and before you go, type 1 if this video was helpful, or 0 if not. Your voice matters here. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and always remember, your legs carry your independence. Nurture them, and you nurture your freedom. Thank you for being here with me on Aging Wisdom.